guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to make you one of my favorite dishes of all time, pappa al pomodoro. Now you're probably thinking, what is that? Well, it's the Italian version of tomato soup, except ours is got like roasted cherry tomatoes in it and lots of bread to soak it all up. It's so good. Let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. You're going to need one 28-ounce can of crushed peeled Italian tomatoes, 1 pint of cherry tomatoes, 1 roasted pepper, peeled and chopped, 2 cloves of garlic minced, some dried oregano, extra virgin olive oil, a day-old piece of bread, could be baguette, could be any type of Italian bread, and you're going to need salt and pepper. So very few ingredients, but I'm telling you, this is so delicious. First thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I'm sorry, you want it really hot because we're going to essentially like caramelize the cherry tomatoes. It's fantastic. We're going to get the sweetness just completely out of them. And they're going to be in beautiful, almost like little jewels by the time they're done. We're going to drizzle these with just a touch of the extra virgin olive oil. You don't need very much. A pinch of dried oregano. Season it with salt and pepper. And just toss these around, kind of with your hands. I love tomatoes. I absolutely adore tomatoes. When I was a little kid, my mom used to give us little cups of cherry tomatoes just like this, and then we would dip them in a little bit of salt and eat them. So these are going to go into preheated oven 15 to 20 minutes until they start bursting and they get golden brown around the edges. I'm going to put these in, and then I'm going to at the stove so we can start our soup. I have about 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil in this pan, and I'm going to add in my chopped garlic. Now, as you can see, the olive oil is not hot yet, and that's because if the olive oil was really hot and I'd add the garlic would get turned brown really quickly, and it would not infuse the olive oil, which is what I want. So I'm just going to let this cook over medium-high heat, about like 30 seconds to a minute until it starts to get really fragrant. And then we're going to add in our crushed tomatoes. In about 30 seconds, I'm just going to add in my crushed tomatoes. Fabulous. Give this a stir. Whoops. Now, when you're using such few ingredients, you want to make sure you use really good quality ingredients. And a good, really good imported can of Italian tomatoes does the trick because they're nice and sweet. Now, in the same can, I'm going to put in about 1.25 cups of water. This has got a nice juice from the tomatoes. I'm just going to put that in there. Medium-high heat. Yeah, just like that. I'm going to season this. I'm going to just season this with salt and pepper. A little pinch of oregano. Not much, though. Yeah, just like so. And I'm going to just bring this to a bubble, reduce to medium, and just cook it for about 15 minutes or so. And by then, the tomatoes will be done, and that's really going to be almost the end of the soup. It's that simple. So let this go for about 15 minutes. I just took my cherry tomatoes out of the oven, and I'm adding them, to my soup here. Oh man, they look fantastic. All that juice, it's all fabulous flavor. I'm also going to add in that roasted pepper. Now, I roasted and peeled it myself, and I have a video on my website at www.laurainthekitchen how to make roasted peppers. So if you want to go check that out to see how I do it, feel free. So I'm just going to let this cook for literally maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'll meet you back at the counter so we can finish this bad boy up. Took my soup off the stove, and now I'm just tearing in some fresh basil. It smells fabulous. Now, to this bread, you're going to need about 3 cups of Italian bread. This is whole wheat, because I happen to really love whole wheat bread, and I always have that on hand. And it's important that it's day-old bread, so it gets soaked up, but it doesn't get super mushy. It stays in kind of like chunk shapes. So I'm just tearing this with my hands. It's better to just tear it than to cut it up. It's just rustic, it's more Italian, and it's exactly how I do it, and it's exactly how it should be done. So I'm just tearing it, and like I said, you should have about 3 cups of bread total. I'm just going to add my bread to my soup. Let's give this a stir. You want to submerge the bread into the tomato mixture. This is going to thicken up and going to be really thick and delicious. Now, you're going to put the lid on and leave it alone for about 3 to 4 minutes. And the bread is going to soak up all that fabulous tomatoey soup, and it's going to be so good. And then we're going to serve it up. My soup is perfect. It's nice and thick. Smells divine. I can't even tell you how many times I've eaten this as a child for dinner, because it's just things you kind of always have laying around. If you don't have the best tomatoes, roast them up. It brings out their sweetness, caramelizes them. It's delicious. This is what we call cucina povera. Just means poor people food. It's really what it translates to, because like I said, it's just using things you have left over, using things you have laying around, but these really are some of the best meals on earth. Quick, simple, homey, comforting. Couldn't ask for anything more. It's so good. It's really hot, but it's really, really good. Just as I remember. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending time with me. To get this recipe and other recipes, check out my website at www.laurenkitchen.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye!